Now, streaming live, this is KSLA News Now.
News Now at 9, I'm Jeff Horchak. Here's our top headlines for 10 o'clock. New in your crime tracker, police need your help locating a man wanted in connection with a hit-and-run crash that left a woman seriously hurt. Now, Texarkana police say Zachary Sanders is wanted for leaving the scene of a collision involving a personal injury. The crash actually happened on North State Line on December 28th. A woman was hit and suffered serious injuries. Police say Sanders initially stopped to check on the woman, but then he got back in his car and left the scene. Police believe that he ran because he had multiple outstanding warrants in both Texas and Arkansas. Well, New Orleans has new leadership. Helena Moreno was sworn in today as the city's new mayor during a festive ceremony at the Sanger Theater.
Ago, as a young journalist, New Orleans welcomed me with open arms.
Well, New Orleans Mayor-elect Helena Moreno was inaugurated in the Big Easy, and she laid out her main goals for the first 100 days of office. She wants to increase productivity among basic services like lights and street maintenance, revamp the safety and permits to attract big and small businesses, and also improve health and public safety. She also wants to make city departments more productive and get a handle on the city's financial crisis and make City Hall more transparent.
I really do want to have this new day where the public is hearing a lot more from their mayor, where the media is hearing a lot more from the mayor.
Now, Moreno has tapped Sewage and Water Board General Superintendent Steve Nelson to be Deputy CAO for Infrastructure and Director of Public Works. Tonight at 10, we'll hear what executive orders she has signed into law. When your consumer alert, you could see cheaper car insurance in the future. That's because many insurers in our state have filed for rate decreases. In total, more than 20 companies filed for decreases in just the past year. And just recently, 2 progressive insurance companies joined that list. Now, Louisiana's insurance commissioner says, while this is a good thing, not everyone will see their rates go down.
First, the decrease is a statewide average, so I want to make sure and state that. That doesn't mean every single policyholder is going to see that percentage of a decrease. Some may see more, some may see less.
And at least one expert advises you should get a dash cam and then shop around until you find the best rate. Well, the U.S. Supreme Court has rejected a challenge to the Boy Scouts of America, their $2.4 billion bankruptcy settlement. Now, the U.S. Supreme Court has sidestepped an appeal from childhood sex abuse victims earlier today. The justices refused to hear a case brought by 75 victims, and their appeal challenged a bankruptcy agreement that prevents them from suing organizations that ran local scouting programs. These organizations, including churches and civic groups, contributed billions to a victim settlement fund. In exchange, they are shielded from future lawsuits. Now, the Supreme Court did not explain its decision, leaving the appellate court's ruling in place. And a Democratic senator is suing the Secretary of Defense. Senator Mark Kelly filed a lawsuit Monday against Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth. Kelly claims that Hegseth violated his First Amendment rights. The dispute is over Hegseth's decision to punish Kelly for a video. Now, Kelly appeared in the video alongside other Democratic lawmakers. And last week, Secretary Hegseth announced the Pentagon would take action against Kelly. Now, this includes cutting Kelly's pay as a retired Navy captain. Hegseth also planned to issue a formal letter of censure. And representatives with the East Baton Rouge Parish Library System are sharing more details about their new tax plan. It comes after the Thrive EBR plan. The tax plan failed at the ballot box last year. Now, library leaders say they had to come up with a new proposal to keep the doors open, and the plan includes a $9.5 million tax to fund the library system over the next 10 years.
Well, we are keeping the sunshine around this week, but temperatures going on a roller coaster and winds will be picking up in the days to come. I'll have the details in your first alert forecast.
Now, KSLA First Alert Weather.
Well, here's a live look outside right now from our downtown camera looking into Shreveport and Bossier City. Things looking pretty nice out there. Of course, it is a bit on the cooler side already, and temperatures will continue cooling down as we go through the night tonight. However, next 2 days, we actually have warmer temperatures returning, but a cold front moving through during the daytime hours on Wednesday bring cooler temperatures starting Wednesday night, and also some breezy winds out behind that front as well. Then as we get toward the weekend, cold front number 2 arrives, bringing us cooler temperatures, of course, for the weekend, and we will be keeping that sunshine around through the weekend as well. So here's a look at your weather setup heading into Wednesday morning. There's that front moving through, and during the day on Wednesday, you'll notice the winds picking up, but temperatures will stay in the 60s. Again, it's really Wednesday night. This is kind of the start of those cooler temperatures, and then we'll keep them around into the day on Thursday. We'll go ahead and get a quick check here at our future track. Our winds here as we go into Wednesday. You'll notice Wednesday afternoon, sustained winds or more constant winds about 15 to 25 miles per hour. But our gusts, or those more like sporadic bursts of wind, could reach as high as 25 to even close to 35 miles per hour in some spots. You'll definitely want to hold on to your hat. It will be quite breezy once that front passes on Wednesday. Now, when it comes to temperatures, like I said, for the afternoon, we're looking at low 60s, maybe some upper 50s. The overnight hours, though, portions of the area could be in the mid 30s, especially, or 20s, I should say, along I-30. The rest of us low to mid 30s. Then we'll warm up a little bit for Friday, and by the weekend, though, that next cold front rolls through, bringing temperatures back down. I think a little bit cooler than this, even along the I-20 corridor. I think a frost is in our cards, and possibly even a freeze as well. So for now, here's where I've left things. Frost likely for your Wednesday night and also Saturday night, possibly bringing that down to that light freeze level here shortly. But then as we go through the rest of that 7-day forecast, we'll be keeping temperatures in the upper 30s. So overall, going to be on the nicer side. Now, right now, temps already cooling down a good bit. 39 in Shreveport, 38 out toward Marshall, 35 for Florine, 37 out toward Natchitoches. And really, these southern counties and parishes are the ones that have the best chance at maybe seeing a frost or a light freeze tonight. Here's a look at your 7-day forecast. Again, kind of on a temperature roller coaster there. Temperatures in the 60s for a couple days, then 50s, and they'll be back to the 60s by the time we get to this weekend, or 50s by the time we get to the weekend.
So, there was talk at one time, Jake, that possibly we could get some precipitation, maybe even some snow this weekend, but it looks like that's not going to happen, right?
It doesn't look like that's going to happen. It'll be cold out there, but just not a lot of moisture to work with. And, of course, to get that wintry precipitation, we got to have a little bit of moisture to see that in our area.
All right. Thank you, man. All right. We appreciate you watching News 12 at 9. I'm Jeff Horchak. Join us right here for our next newscast at 10 o'clock. Until then, you can stay connected. All you have to do is just download that KSLA News 12 app. We'll see you at 10.